Welcome to today's live painting session. Let me quickly check how this stream is reaching YouTube so that we can start painting. Yeah, it's reaching properly, so I think we are good to go. As usual, I have, before we get into today's painting, I want to show you what we did yesterday. So if you missed yesterday's session, don't worry. You can always go back and watch the recording. But if you haven't watched it, this is the sketch which I started with. Then I painted this value study, and then we painted this in the live session. So based on the same sequence, I have, maybe this way I can show you. Yeah, this is the sketch. This is the value study which I did. I did not record a video of this today because I was short on time, but I did post a photo of this even on the banner of the live session so that you could see what we are going to paint. And I've also listed down the colors which we are going to use today. So I'm going to use cobalt blue, then burnt sienna, vermilion, white, and maybe I might use yellow ochre because these mountains might need that, but depends on whether we need it or not. Let's see. And if you are new here, my name is Mandar Marathe, and I've been doing these live sessions for quite a few days now. And my studio or my website name is Marathi Art Studio. And if you want to sign up for a free course, then the free course is here. You can see it on the screen. It's marathiartstudio.com/free course. You can sign up for that. And now let's get started with the painting for today. So let me hide my view so that you can see more of my desk, and let's start drawing this on a larger scale. If you have any questions, you can post them in the comments and I will reply to those when I get some time breather in between the painting process or even after the painting process is over. If you are watching this as a recording, also you can post your questions, and I will make sure that I answer those. So, so this is this landmass here, and this is water. So something like this, and this tree is approximately of this size, and this is a bunch of trees growing together, and they'll be of this height, and they'll cast a shadow here because we are assuming in this painting that the light is shining from top, and I might have to reduce the size. Let's see what needs to be done. Then this is the other shore of the paint of the water body, and then this bunch of trees or a smaller hill here, And there's this large mountain, and there is a mountain in the background also. So that's the overall scheme of things. And if you divide it in terms of darkest value, of course, this tree and this tree will be the darkest. The reason being they are closest to us. Of course, there'll be bright green here and dark green here, but in terms of value, mass, this will be the darkest mass. So let me start by let me take out some more blue color, and also burnt sienna. If you don't have these exact colors, you can use any similar color. Painting will look slightly different, but that's fine. In painting, the colors, how they look in relation to each other is more important, and not getting an exact shade is not a big problem. And value, getting the value right is the crucial thing. If you get this right, and your colors, even if they are off by some amount, it doesn't matter, the painting still looks good. So I want a dark green. So to darken this, I'm going to add vermilion. And because the light is coming in from the top of the tree is going to receive maximum light, whereas this area is going to get least amount of light. So I want to slightly change the color for this. So the way I would do that is add a bit of burnt sienna and white to make this more olive green kind of a color. And maybe towards the base it's much darker. So if you have been watching my videos of such paintings, you know that this is not the final dark, but it gets us started. So that's the job of this dark color right now. Now I'm going to paint this, which is going to be much more bluish. So I'm going to add a lot of blue, and it's also going to be paler in terms of saturation. So I will add some white to it. Some more white and more blue. And let's see how this looks as compared to this value. I think it needs to be lighter. So yeah, this is good. And I like to add variations in the color. It should not be just one color which is mixed and then laid over the whole area of that shape, because in nature you won't find one color over a large area. There will be variations in it. Okay, now let's paint this mountain. And this mountain, I think I will have to use yellow ochre, otherwise I'll have to mix it with these two. Let's do that. Instead of using the ready-made yellow ochre, I'm going to add burnt sienna and brown and add white to it. And I also do not want this to be so yellow saturated, so I'm going to add a bit of blue to it so that it gets less saturated. And let's see how this looks. This still looks very yellow. Yeah, this, and these mountains, these are Sahyadri mountains, which have these layers kind of thing. So if you happen to have a look at photos of these mountains, then you will see layers, and that's what I'm trying to paint. So right now I'm going to lay in this color all over and then make changes to it, or add the next layer where there is some vegetation growing because the surface has kind of flattened, so there is some soil there, some moisture gets retained, and then some trees grow. This might look very odd right now, but just bear with me. Now I need a smaller brush, and I will use this same kind of color, add more white, and let's see how this looks. Yeah, looks okay, I guess. Some more blue. I think I can add more white because the value is a bit darker than what I expect. Yeah. So if you just look at the color, you might see that the colors are different, but the value is almost the same, which happens when the object is at a distance. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. I'm adding details before I paint the whole painting with some color. And towards the base of these mountains, there are more trees because the slope is not so intense. And this mountain will be another version of these colors, but even more lighter, or more lighter than this, not more lighter. So this becomes the first layer, and now I can come in with lighter version of this blue color. This again will have those layers. So that looks nice. In fact, it looks much better than what I had expected. So now let's paint the water here. So again, it will be something of this sort, but I don't want to start with that greenish tinge in water. So blue and white, and I want to reduce the bluish saturation of the color. So I want to add a bit of brown in it, and this will be the water. And this is a lake, it's not a river or sea, so it doesn't have a lot of turbulence. So right now I'm going to paint even on these tree trunks. As I come down, I will have to make this slightly darker. That's too much. And I want to see if this line is perfectly horizontal, because if it's not, then it doesn't read properly. It seems it is. Now let's paint the this landmass. So I want a brown which is dark. So I think this is good enough. I want to make the color dark towards the base here as it meets the water water body. And I'm going to use the same color to even paint the shadow. May not be very nice looking right now because this color is wet, but I'll have a hint of that anyway. Yeah. Now let's paint the sky so that we complete the second stage of painting. I teach painting in a manner in which I say, or I've named the technique as M3 method, in which the first stage is the composition and value study. Second is the blocking in of colors, and third is the details stage. So that students don't get confused with what is to be done at what stage. So we are almost towards the end of second stage of blocking, and let's see how this color looks for the sky. If it's too intense, I want to make it slightly more intense. Yeah, this looks good, but I want to keep the sky not very happening because a lot of things are happening in the foreground. It's always good to have one area which is dominating the painting. In this case, it's the foreground and midground, and this is not a skyscape. So it's good to keep the sky simple. Want to make it lighter here so that it has enough value difference with this mountain. And if you have been watching my live sessions like these, then do let me know if you are painting with me or you prefer watching this right now just as it is and painting afterwards. What is your preference? And also, if you can tell me from where you're watching, which city, then it will be nice to know that. Making the sky a bit more lighter here. And I'll suggest a few clouds in the sky. I think that's enough of a suggestion. Now let's paint some variation in this water. Let's see if we get. We need a slightly darker color than this. And let's see if this makes it. I think that's too dark. I just want to get rid of the flat nature of this water body. I don't want to suggest big waves in there, but just some ups and downs in the surface of the water. At least closer to us because that's where we'll see it because it's closer to us. Otherwise, might be calmer in the distance. So just to get rid of that flatness of the water. Now let's come to the dark tree again. So again some blue here and brown. This is for the underside of the painting. I'll add some red also in it. Underside of the tree. And I will also paint the tree trunks with this. I don't want to paint them too thick because there's a bunch of those. It's not one tree trunk. So something like this. And let me also indicate the shadow because this color is very similar to the shadow color. And I want to now add some lights, light yellow or light green basically, not light yellow. And let's see how this looks. I'll start with this. Some hint of green here also. And more pure color at the top. And to add some brightness in the foreground, what I will do is I will add a light color here. It may not be as bright as this. So that this suggests some sunlight, and maybe this color goes in here also. And I will add some white on the surface of the water in some places, which will suggest shimmering of sunlight on these small waves or ripples. And it's pretty much done. And let's first make the outline and let me see if we can or if we need to add any other detail. Yes, I think we can add a few dark spots here. Should be darker. Slightly lighter color here. I think that's too much, too bright. Yes, I think we are good to stop here. Looks good. And if you have any questions, do let me know in the comments. I hope you liked this session. So we started with this value sketch, sorry, the sketch, then the value sketch, and then I painted this. So if you like this video, do give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel on YouTube, if you are watching this on YouTube, do hit the subscribe button and also comment on it if you have any questions. And if you are watching this on Facebook page, do follow the page and share this video with your friends or family who might be interested in that. So that's it for today. I hope these sessions help you, and you find it interesting, I certainly enjoy painting with you. And if you are watching this as a recording also, there is a playlist in which there is all these videos which I've been doing in recent days are strung together, so you can watch them. And happy painting. See you next time.